Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of My Name is Dad. We are here on another sports episode talking about the March Madness bracket, and I have a very special guest with me. His name is Brody Benson. Say hi, Brody.
Hello. I'm back.
Brody, do we have an update on your single status?
Still single.
Still single. Wow. So he is single on the mingle, always looking for a lady. No big deal.
Nope.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do this episode, let's just talk very quickly about the podcast. My name is Dad, and we are exclusively on Spotify. You can find us there. The sponsor is Point B Grading and Turfgrass Maintenance at LLC. You can find the website at pointbgrading.com. We service all of the Arizona state area and pretty much Southwest, but pretty much Arizona. And you can find us for your grading needs, irrigation, sports field maintenance, anything like that. You can go ahead and contact us, and we will get back to you. So pointbgrading.com. All right, Brody. Let's recap the first round. So the first round went very well for me, except for my upset picks.
Yes, all your upset picks were...
All my upset picks did... Well, most of them didn't happen, but some of them did.
Yeah. Which ones? I don't remember.
Okay.
I feel like they all were wrong.
All were wrong? How dare you?
They were all wrong.
Okay. So UC San Diego did not hit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but then I had... going down the list here, Grand Canyon did not hit, but Colorado State hit. That's a 12 over 5.
I picked them too.
Drake. Someone was very quiet on that one. Mr. BYU hit. That was a 6 over 10. St. Mary's, Alabama, Gonzaga, McNeese hit, but that one. I had High Point, didn't have that one. I had Xavier, that one didn't happen. I had UCLA, so I only had a couple.
Like one or two.
But this was a first round of blowouts. This was a first round of no big upsets. I think this was the first time in however many years that a 13, 14, or 15 did not have an upset. Typically the 12s do, and we did have, I think, half the 12s, 50% of the 12s did.
Yeah.
But the 13, 14, 15s, and 16s, none of them had an upset. None of them, I don't think any of them were even close to having an upset.
Yeah, McNeese and Colorado were the biggest upsets at 12 seeds.
Yeah, exactly. So it's time to year for the upsets, which is fine. I like to pick upsets. I think it's a lot of fun. That's why I like to pick upsets in the first round, because I think it's a lot of fun. But after that, then I kind of go with the best team. So after the first round, I had 24 correct picks. And then in the second round, I had 10 correct picks, which makes me 34 for 48. And I'm about 71% correct picks on my picks so far. Brody, how you doing?
I had 23 correct picks the first round.
Huh.
And then I had 13 the second round, so I have 36 correct picks in total.
36. So Brody is...
I did very good in the second round.
Yeah, Brody is beating me, and I imagine that because Brody didn't have so many upsets, in the second round he definitely probably had some better odds or some better results in the second round.
Yes.
But what we talked about it a little bit earlier, that we all have our Final Four are still alive.
Mm-hmm.
And we're very excited about that. So This episode is going to be very kind of similar to the last episode that we did, but we're going to kind of start all over, and we're going to, based on what the Sweet 16 is now, we're going to make new picks, and then we'll pick the Elite Eight, and then a week from now we'll do a Final Four and National Championship. Okay. So again, we're going to start in order. And the first game on Thursday in the East region is Alabama versus Alabama's a 2 seed. BYU is a 6 seed. Alabama is favored by 5.5 points. Brody, who you got? Who you going with?
Alabama. I've liked Alabama since last year, and they're very good. And if they have all their players healthy, they are just gonna, I think, like tire out BYU and just kind of just beat them at the end. It's going to be a close game, though. BYU's good, but Alabama's going to come out on top, I think.
No, I agree, Brody, that this is the time when BYU runs out of their magic, and it's time for the real teams to take over.
Yeah.
Sweet 16. So Alabama, like number one scoring team in the nation, like highest offense.
Yes.
I do have Alabama moving on to the Elite Eight, and I want to like to point out that my entire East bracket is 100% perfect.
I think I have the same exact thing.
Because I don't think there were any upsets, and we don't pick any.
No, there was no upsets in the East.
All right, moving on to the West region. We have the number 1 seed, Florida, against the number 4 seed, Maryland. Florida is favored by 6.5. This is Thursday in the West region. Brody, what are you going with?
Maryland's my ride or die. I got Maryland this one. I think they're going to upset number 1 Florida.
Really?
They've looked good, and they look good, but Maryland, I think they're going to win.
Maryland has looked good, I have to admit. I had the Grand Canyon upsetting them in the first round, and then Grand Canyon going all the way to the Sweet 16, but losing to Florida. So I'm still going to go with Florida. I thought going into this tournament that Florida was number 1 or number 2 best team in the nation, but when they played UConn, they did not look that good.
Nope.
UConn gave them a run for their money, and UConn is one of the worst defensive teams in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a little bit higher hopes for Texas Tech, who we'll talk about a little bit later. But I'm not as high as I was on Florida starting the tournament after seeing their game against Norfolk State and then against UConn. So I think Florida is vulnerable, but I'm still going to go Florida on this one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on. This is the next game. We have the number 1 seed Duke in the East region versus Arizona, the number 4 seed. And again, this is the East region, and Duke is favored by 9.5. You want to go first, Brody?
Yeah, again, like BYU, this is just where the good teams are just going to beat these great teams are just going to beat these good teams. And Arizona is a very good team, but Duke has looked maybe the best team in this whole bracket, and they are very, very good.
Yeah, I thought coming into this tournament that Duke was the number 1 seed, the best team in the nation overall. And with Cooper Flagg back, they have looked the part.
Yes, they look very good.
They're very, very, very good. I don't know if really they seem a man amongst boys, all against these other teams. Not that Arizona doesn't have a fighting chance against Duke, but I think Duke will find a way, and I'm going to go with Duke also.
Yes. It's kind of a rivalry because Caleb Love used to go to UNC.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. It's like a rivalry game.
All right. And then the last game on Thursday in the Sweet 16 in the West region, we have the number 3 seed, the Texas Tech Red Raiders, against the 10 seed Arkansas. All right. Texas Tech is favored by -5.5 points. So Texas Tech are the favorites. And you want to go first, Brody? Go take this one, Brody.
Arkansas looked very, very good, I'll have to admit, but the run's going to end against Texas Tech. Texas Tech, I think they're going to get Chance McMillan back. We're going to start hitting threes. We're going to start playing as a team, and I think we are going to win this game.
Absolutely, Brody. Texas Tech has made it to the Sweet 16 without playing their best basketball.
Yes.
They did not make threes in the first game. They did not shoot threes in the second game, and they easily won both games.
Yes.
If we can do both, and I think that's what's going to happen going to the Sweet 16, that this team is very, very, very good, can make a run to the Final Four, and once you get to the Final Four, anything can happen.
Yes.
So this Texas Tech team is very, very good. I mean, very good. I think this might be better than the 2019 team where we just rode the coattails of Jarrett Culver.
Yeah.
Well, we got JT Toppin, Darren Williams. If Chance McMillan comes back, that is the key to our success. It's going to happen. Texas Tech all the way.
What about Christian Anderson, Dad?
Christian Anderson better pull his shit together because he did not have a good game in the last game.
Nope.
No, he did not. I don't care what anyone says. He did not have a good game, and I hope he pulls his shit together.
Yeah.
Because, again, we're going to need everybody to go for a championship.
Yes.
All right, let's move on to Friday. Let me move my thing over here. Okay, moving on to Friday. The very first game on Friday afternoon is going to be the 2-seed Michigan State versus the 6-seed Ole Miss in the South region. Michigan State is favored by 3.5 points. Brody, who are you going with?
Both teams have looked good, but Michigan State, in these later rounds, just the better team just kind of just wins at the end. It's going to be a very close game, but I think Michigan State comes out on top.
If I remember correctly, I remember Brody fading and dogging on Ole Miss earlier in the tournament here. So I wouldn't imagine he's going to take him now. But I'm going to take Tom Izzo and his coaching experience, all those years in the tournament. They probably have some tournament experience on that team. So I will take Michigan State to end the run of Ole Miss. All right, next game in the Midwest region, we have the 2-seed University of Tennessee, the Volunteers, versus the 3-seed, the Kentucky Wildcats. And Tennessee is favored by 4.5 points. Brody, what's up with this game?
Another close game, but I have Tennessee in my Final Four. And besides Duke, they may have looked the best. They're very, very good, and I have them beating Kentucky.
I have to agree with you, Brody, that Tennessee has sort of quietly sort of got themselves in the Sweet 16.
Yes.
And not getting a lot of popularity. Everyone's talking Auburn. Everyone's talking Duke. Everyone's talking Arkansas. They were talking St. John's, right? No one's really talking Tennessee, it seems like. They're kind of a little bit forgotten, but Tennessee has played very, very well. Maybe because they played so well, no one's kind of talked about it. They haven't had any close games.
Yeah,
the first round or second round, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think Tennessee is very, very good. And I am going to take Tennessee over Kentucky in this game to go to the Elite Eight.
Yes.
All right. The next one is in the South region. We have the number 1 seed Auburn versus the number 5 seed Big Ten champions Michigan. And this Auburn is favored by 9.5 points.
I'm going to take Michigan on this one. They have played two very good teams.
Really?
They came out on top. They look good. They play as a team. They're very good at scoring. And Auburn, they've won both of their games kind of by a large margin, but they didn't really look the best in both of those games. I think they were down at half at both of their games. I don't really like this Auburn team, so I have Michigan upsetting Auburn.
It's a very, very close game for me, too. Now, Michigan is on a run. They went through the whole Big Ten tournament championship, and they won the Big Ten championship. They're making a run here. Usually those teams get faded out early. Auburn, who I think was overrated as being the number 1 overall seed in the tournament, but again, they've won. They did struggle against Creighton a little bit, which I thought Creighton might take them. But I don't know. It's just the way this tournament is going. The ones might make it all the way to the Elite Eight, maybe to the Final Four. So I'm going to take Auburn in this one. Favored by 9.5. I don't know if Michigan is that good. So I'm going to go Auburn. All right, and then the last game in the Midwest region, we have the number 1 seed Houston versus the 4 seed Purdue Boilermakers. Brody, what's up with this game?
I have Houston. Purdue, they've been good, but not the best. And Houston is a very, very good team, and they're going to make it to the Elite Eight.
I think this game, too. Houston is favored by 7.5 points. I think Houston's just a better team.
Yeah.
Purdue had their center last year. They had the guard center last year duo, which took them all the way to the national championship game. They don't have that this year. Not that they're not a good team, right? But I don't think they have Final Four championship quality team. They had a little good run here, but I think Houston is the complete better team and does take out Purdue. Yes. So Houston on to the Elite Eight.
Houston's just kind of a better St. John's.
Yeah.
Good at defense and better at scoring.
Yeah, they're better at defense, but they are better. I think they're a better team than St. John's and deserve the 1 over the 2 over St. John.
Yes.
Right? Okay. All right, Brody. Any other thoughts, comments on the Sweet 16?
I think almost every game is going to be close, but I think just these higher seeded teams are just gonna at the end just kind of pull away and just win.
It has been an abnormal tournament that we've seen in the last couple of years. We've kind of talked about that there weren't any big upsets.
No.
And we were kind of, everyone's talking about why is this possible? How could this happen? I mentioned my theory is that because of the NIL and the transfer portal, that, it used to be that the best teams, the Dukes, Kansas, North Carolina, Kentucky, they always had the best 5-star recruits. And the NBA had the rule where that you had to be 1 year removed from high school to go to the NBA draft. So a lot of these, the big time 5-star freshmen coming in would go play 1 year at the biggest schools, and then they would go to the NBA draft. Now it seems like that because of the NIL, that maybe some of these kids are sticking around a little longer, and that some of these, blue blood schools like Duke and Memphis or Kentucky, Auburn, some of these schools are now transferring kids who were normally seniors in these mid-majors and playing against freshmen who are 5-star freshmen, but these are seniors playing against them, and we would have a lot more upsets because these are freshmen who don't have experience in the tournament, and we would get a lot more upsets. But now these, those seniors, those junior seniors from the mid-majors are now transferring and getting NIL money to go play in, Duke and North Carolina and these schools. So it's sort of evening out the balance a little bit. So I think we're seeing more juniors and seniors on these big time schools, and you're getting less of that in the mid majors who were there. The mid majors are doing all the recruiting, and then the big schools are just kind of cherry picking off the mid majors to make their team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. I don't know if it does, but Brody's nodding his head yes.
Yes, it makes sense.
Okay. All right. Now, Brody, you want to go first on your Elite Eight?
Yes.
Okay.
So in the South, I have Michigan versus Michigan State, a rivalry. I have Michigan State. Michigan's run is going to end, and I have Michigan State going to the Final Four.
Mm-hmm.
In the West, I have Maryland versus Texas Tech. Texas Tech has more experience than Maryland. I think Texas Tech is definitely going to have Chance McMillan, and they're just going to play their best basketball at Texas Tech. In the East, I have Duke and Alabama. I have Duke. They're just very, very, very good. And in the Midwest, I have Houston versus Tennessee, and I love Tennessee, and I have them beating Houston and making it to the Final Four.
Really? Okay, so my Elite Eight, we have, Auburn and Michigan State. I am going to go with, I thought Auburn would be out of the tournament already, so I'm going to go Michigan State. I'm going to take Tom Izzo and his experience and the Michigan State Spartans to make it to the Final Four. Then I have, Florida and Texas Tech. So that's what I have in my Elite Eight. So I have Texas Tech beating Florida. Again, I was really high on Florida coming in this tournament, but now, after seeing them after a couple games, I'm not so high on them anymore.
No.
I don't think they may be the number 2 team in the nation. I thought Duke was 1, Florida was 2, and then maybe Auburn, Houston, or Houston, Auburn. But now I don't think that anymore. So I'm going to go Texas Tech to make it to the Final Four. Mm-hmm. Okay. In the East seed, I have Duke versus Alabama, as Forrest Gump would say.
All right.
But I think Duke is the best team in the nation, so I'm going to go ahead and just take Duke to go to the Final Four. And then in the Midwest, we got Houston versus Tennessee. Again, I love Tennessee. I think they have been sneaky quite good. But Houston is really good. I've seen them play. I know what their team is. They're very good defensively, and maybe defense does get it done for them to get them to the Final Four. So I'll have Michigan State, Texas Tech, Duke, and Houston in my Final Four.
Mm-hmm. I have Michigan State, Texas Tech, Duke, and Tennessee.
All right. Well, that's about it for this episode, right, Brody?
Yep.
Anything else you want to bring up?
Not really. Just not the most fun March Madness, but
yeah, it's not a crazy one. It has been fun.
Oh yeah, it's been fun.
It's just not like there's no Cinderella stories or there's no St. Peter's, a 15 seed going to the Elite Eight or something like that.
McNeese and their Aura guy, and they beat Clemson, then they get absolute smacked by Purdue.
Well, the thing is that the lowest seed is Arkansas, who's a 10.
Yes.
And they're playing against Texas Tech, so there's no way we're going to pick them.
Yes.
You know? So the 10 seed's already done. Sweet 16. See you later.
Let me saw it was Arkansas and St. John's. We said, Arkansas, can you please win? And then we were watching the game, and Arkansas beat St. John's.
Yeah. Texas Tech definitely has a path to the Final Four, and we hope it happens. Mm-hmm. We'll be cheering for them.
Yes.
Very, very loudy. Brody's like an insane fan when we're watching Texas Tech games. He's like yelling and cursing and doing all these things.
That sounds like you, Dad.
No, I think it's you.
I think it's you. 1 second you are yelling at the team, and 1 second you're just you're just the happiest person on earth.
Brody's like jumping around and yelling at the refs the whole game.
That's you.
It's crazy.
Now that's our coach.
Hey, that is our coach.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. We are exclusively on Spotify. Hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll be back next week for our Final Four picks and National Championship picks. So thank you for listening. Brody, say bye.
Bye.
All right. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode of My Name is Dad.
Bye.